we have our enemies have a free ticket, get pass. They come and occupy these spaces, creating more fear. For me, freedom is not fear. That's why I can speak to you. And we know we shall overcome. All these injustices are systematically funded and enabled by international actors, including United Nations, IMF, and World Bank, as well as foreign governments, including Canada, and the United States, and China, and Russia. These entities adamantly finance our operations, murder, and the silencing of dissent, perpetuating the regime's grip on power. I mean the Museveni regime. As Uganda approaches the 2026 election, we've had Uganda named under the attack in Congo, violating our relationship with our neighbors. It is imperative to revisit the findings of the report and use them, the findings of the report, and use them as a foundation for action. By addressing the systematic failures and oppression highlighted in the 2021 election, we can develop effective strategies to ensure that the will of the people is respected and upheld for restoration of a political, economic, and socially stable climate in a new Uganda. I have a proposal for a forum advancing democracy and justice in Uganda in the days we are heading to. To this end, I propose that Ugandans in exile and back home, together with allies or partners or collaborators like Voices in Exile project and the National Unity Platform and the People Power Movement, which I represent as the media coordinator, and the global partners and allies, we organize a comprehensive in-person and virtual forums, such as the one we have attended today. And this forum would have the following aims. One, to analyze the 2021 report on human rights abuse, reflect on its findings to identify actionable recommendations for advocacy and mobilization, address the systematic electoral abuse, coercive violence, and irregularities documented in the report that continue really to cycle or to recycle. Support victims and survivors, document the stories of victims and victims of violence, political prisoners, and their families out as we seek for accountability and justice for them. Amplify the voices on the global stage, explore avenues for legal, psychological, and financial assistance to help them rebuild their lives. Number three, we want to use these platforms to strengthen international advocacy, engage with the global bodies. Still, pull these global bodies, including the United Nations, ICC, IMF, World Bank, this time round, turning on the side of what? On the side of the oppressed, not the side of the oppressors. And that would be a key, and key foreign governments, including Canada. We know Canada can turn to demand, can start to demand, or can join us to demand accountability from the Ugandan regime while supporting the opposition to find a new Uganda. This platform would develop tools to expose transnational repression and protect opposition figures in exile, including Dr. Kizza Besigye, who was abducted last year in November. To date, he's still in incarceration. Not forgetting other really exilees who are facing these same practices by their dictatorial regimes. This platform would help strategize 2026 election, formulate plans to encounter electoral abuses, and empower grassroots movements within Uganda. For example, the People Power Movement. These platforms would still enhance diaspora engagement in advocating for democratic forums or reforms, democratic reforms, including the chance to have the people in diaspora vote for their leaders back home. We don't have that chance to vote. These platforms would also address transnational repression, I repeat, highlighting the detention of political prisoners, threats of violence, and coercive actions against opposition figures, even outside Uganda's borders, advocate for legal protection and asylum support for those targeted by the regime. And as I conclude, I want to mention that Canada's role in championing democracy and human rights is a key role as if we are to really move forward to progress. I believe Canada is uniquely positioned to play a pivotal role in this initiative by leveraging the insights, expertise, and activism of Ugandans in exile or Africans in exile, or any other activities from different corners of life who are in exile. They need to listen to us and incorporate what we are doing in their systems. Canada can integrate this knowledge into its foreign policy and champion global human rights, democracy, and anti-corruption efforts more effectively, especially in countries where corruption has made our systems to be rotten. For instance, Uganda. Canadian leadership in advancing for a free and fair election, as it is in Canada, pressuring international bodies to reconsider financial support for oppressive regimes, but rather support the opposition party and protecting refugees and activists will send a strong message to the dictatorship worldwide. And for our next steps, your expertise and involvement in facilitating this reflection and planning session would be invaluable. I would be greatly appreciated an opportunity to discuss this initiative further and guidance on how we can explore how we can collaborate to honor the resilience of those who have suffered under Uganda's current regime of Museveni, while working towards a brighter and democratic future. Together we can ensure that the injustices of the past inform the path towards justice, freedom, and democracy of Uganda and our neighbors and the rest of the world. Thank you very much for your unwavering commitment to human rights, justice, and democracy. My name is Samuel Kisitu, the Communication Advisor, National Unity Platform, Canada Chapter. Thank you very much.